Okay. Right, here we go. Bismillah. Okay folks, welcome back to a lesson on factorization delivered by myself, Mr. Imran Iqbal from Imran Iqbal 1 Tutor. You can follow us on YouTube. So factorization, while looking at common factors. This is a Maths Watch CD work, clip 104, grade C question. Right, non-calculator, I don't even know how you'd use a calculator to do this in the first place, but never mind. So let's look at the first question here, 2x plus 4. Factorize 2x plus 4. I'm going to write it here a bit more bigger. There you go. Now, factorize 2x plus 4. When you think about factorizing, we need to look at the numbers and letters and split it up into its factors. What is the number made of? The numbers that divide into it. So for example, 2x in the most simplest form is just 2 times by x. One way of looking at it. Now, 2x has a factor of 2 in it. You have to think, has the number 4 got the same factor so we can use that to pull out those factors? And the answer is yes. The number 4 is made up of 2 times by 2. Okay? So what we're doing now, we are splitting a number into particular factors, not just any old factor pairs. Particular factors take into consideration that this particular expression has a highest common factor of 2. So that's our target, that's our goal. So before we even start doing the question, we have to think 2x add 4, they share a highest common factor of 2. Highest common factor is 2. Sit on that side over there. That's the camera down. Okay. So here's my highest common factor here. Carefully. Okay, so the highest common factor is 2. 2 is the biggest number that each part of the expression will divide by. So 4 could have been split up into 1 times by 4, but that won't help us at all. Okay, so here we got the highest common factor is 2. What we do with that 2 now is we pull the 2 out. Okay, and now the next part is nice and simple. Just copy it down. Copy down the x. Copy down the plus, copy down the remaining 2. Okay. So let's have a look at that question once more. We have 2x plus 4. We looked at the numbers, we said there's 2 in here, which you can see. And the 4 also contains the 2 in there. Because 4 is made up of 2 times by 2. So we said the biggest number that they'll both divide by is 2. 2 is the highest common factor. So 2s can be split up into 2 times by x, plus 4 can be split up into 2 times by 2. So we've got the same, it's equivalent to the above, but written in a different way. Now we say, look, there's a 2 in here and a 2 in here. We'll pull those 2 out as a set. That comes over here. What's left over now? Copy the x down, copy the plus down, copy the 2 down, put brackets there. Job's done. How do we know we've done it properly and we've done a correct factorization? Multiply out the brackets for test. So 2 times by x is 2x, 2 times by plus 2 is plus 4. So by multiplying the bracket, I'll test that you'll get back to the original expression, that you haven't lost any data. That's the information. Now, one further thing. If when you have your brackets here, if you can factorize what's in the brackets again, that means you haven't factorized it properly. That's a partial factorization. So for example, okay, say for example you had an expression, you had a 2 in there. Well, there's a 2 in here and a 2 in there. That means you can pull out another factor of 2 out in that particular instance. So you haven't finished that question. So I'm looking at x plus 2. Can I pull out any more factors again? The answer is no. That means you finished. Done. Okay, we happy with that question? Awesome? 2x plus 4. That's the first one. Done. Okay. Let's have a look at 5x minus 15 now. We'll do that on this side. So we have 5x minus 15. Okay, now, Hassan, when we're looking at this 5x minus 15, there's only one x here, so the x is not common. But what is common? What do you reckon is common between this part and that part? What do they both share? What do both numbers contain inside it? as the highest common factor?
They both go into 5.
Okay, excellent. Well done, Hassan. So we have the highest common factor for this one is 5. Okay, let's now split it up into that. Right. So what we say here, this one can be simply just 5 times by x. Done. Minus the 15 is made up of, Hassan, 5 times by 3. So we're splitting the 15 up into its factors, but the factors that suit us, that suit this question, which contain the highest common factor, and not just any factors of 15, because you could have chosen 1 times by 15 as well, but that won't help you at all. So now, this is a nice happy situation here, because also we have a 5 in here, and a
5 in there.
So this comes out as 1 5. So what are we left with now? We are left with x. We are left with a minus, and we're left with 3, and then we close the brackets, and the job is done. And we do a quick check, Hassan. 5 times by x is
5x.
5 times by minus 3 is
Minus
-15.
-15.
So has it given back our original expression? Yes. Now look at this part of the bracket. Can I factorize it again? And the answer is no. There's nothing here that you can pull out. They don't have any more common factors apart from having a factor of 1. And that's a useless factor when you're looking at factors, because you can't do anything, it doesn't help you at all. Okay. Are we happy with this first question number 1? Yes? So here we had a numerical value which was the highest common factor. Let's move on to the ones we got letters as well. Could you copy these two examples down? Copy them down. I'm going to move the rest of the stuff up. Copy it down. I'm going to move on to part 2 now. Okay, folks, which one have you copied down so far?
The first one.
First one, this one then?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay, quickly copy the second one down, then we're going to start looking at question number 2 over here. We've got letters as common factors. So, okay. Right, Hassan, are you ready for the next part?
Yeah.
Done? Good, excellent. Okay, right, bismillah. Right, question number 2 now. Okay, Leila, have you done that question? Have you drawn your graph?
Haven't done the graph yet.
Okay, draw your graph, plot the graph now, please. Okay, give me a moment when I'm doing this question, I'll give you a hand. Right, p squared plus 7p. Now, Hassan, in this particular question here, if you're looking at p squared plus 7p, what is the highest common factor this time? It's not a number this time, it is it's a letter. What is the letter? What is the highest common factor for this one?
The highest
It is
p.
p. Okay, so p squared is made up of p times by
P times by
p times by itself, p times by p. Splitting it up. Yeah? Plus, and 7p is made up, that's quite simple. That's made up of 7 times by p. Okay, now we're looking for the common factor which we said is p. So here's the p and here's the p. So what do? You pull it out
and
you put it over here at the front.
over here.
Okay, what do we have left over now, Hassan?
You just have the p
and
the 7 and the plus 7.
And the question is done.
Yeah.
Okay, how do we know we've done it properly?
Because
P times by p is
p squared.
p times by plus 7 is
P
plus 7p. Done. And look at that. Can you factorize that anymore? That's a prime number. You can't take the answer there. That's already in the simplest form. Done. That job is done and sealed. Okay. Right. I'm going to do this other question here, question E now. And that's a really important question, the technique that we'll do in this question next. Quickly copy that down, Hassan, while I get ready for my next question. So, next question over here. Oh, that's nice and beautiful black there. That's new. X squared plus x. Okay, now, in x squared plus x, Hassan, no numbers now. Again, looking at letters, common letters. So we said that the highest common factor is x. Because there's an x in here, which is just the whole thing. And then there's an x in here as well, because there's 2 of them in there, 2 x's in there. So let's now start splitting it up. So, Hassan, x squared can be split up into x times by x by itself. And the plus is just plus, and the x is
Just
okay. Alright, I'm going to go with the flow for the moment, folks. I'm going to put a little star here. Okay, just watch this space. So at the moment, if you do it like this, what will happen? The next test is important. We have to do something a bit extra here. But I'm going to come back to that in a second, okay? So this at the moment is not what I want it to be. Now, let's start factorizing this. So if you're a student, you do the examination, and you haven't factorized x in its proper way, that's not done properly, by the way. We'll show you in a second. This will happen in the examination. Watch. Now, what did we say? We pull out the highest common factor, which is x and x, and put them over here. And then we copy down what we have left over. Is that right, Hassan?
Yeah.
So what we have left over is x,
and then
an add,
and
then what's over here?
x.
No, x squared. What's left behind?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay, that's the answer. This is a common mistake made by students. I've done this on purpose this way to show you the common mistake, and I'll put a star next to where the mistake is. When you factorize this x, you must put an x time by 1. Because when you get to this stage here, if you don't have the time by 1, you have nothing to write down here because you pulled the x out. You got physically nothing there. That's why you have nothing here. You cannot have this in the answer in the examination. X bracket x plus fresh air. You can't have fresh air in your answer. Okay, so at the moment, as it stands, this is incomplete. So now I'm going to complete it by putting down here time by 1. So when you factorize, when you split x up into its factors, x splits up into x time by 1. You must put the time by 1 there. Because x time by 1 is 1x, which is that. So I'm not doing anything which is incorrect mathematically. That's completely correct mathematically. It's equivalent. Now, what happens now? So let's do the question again. You pull the x out, you have x left over, plus left over. What do you have left over here?
1.
1. Another question is complete. So you must be careful in the examination not to leave, not to miss out on time by 1. Otherwise you'll have an equation with a bit missing from it. I call it fresh air. Okay, right. Thank you for that, Mr. Hassan. So we've done those practice 2 questions there, 1 and 2. I think there's one more style of question now, and then we'll give you some questions to do for question, okay? Have you copied those down?
Yeah.
Yeah? Ready for the next bit?
Yeah.
Okay, right. In this next type of question, Hassan, what we got here, factorizing 2x squared plus 6x, we've got common numerical value factors and common letters as well. So we got both things. So in the first examples, we had just numbers that were common. Then we had letters that were common. Now we're going to have letters and numbers that are common. So let's have a look at this first question here. Question number 3, clip 104, Maths Watch CD. And this is the grade C. So factorize by using common factors, 2x squared plus 6. We're going to write this over here. And then we're going to do over here, on this side, 7c squared minus 21c. So let's have a look at this. So, I've missed something out. Okay, right. Mr. Hassan, let's have a look at this expression over here. What can you see numerically is common?
The x and the 2.
Okay, the numerically, when you look at these numbers here.
Oh, 2, yeah.
So if you look at these numbers here, what's common between those two? What common factors they have?
They both going to 2.
2. Both can be divided by 2. Good, excellent. Now, I'm going to get that part bit there. Now, I want you to focus on the x squared and the x only. What do they have in common now? They have a common, what is?
Common.
Is x. That's what we just done in the previous question. Yeah, they both have an x in them. That's the common bit. Okay? So the highest common factor now is?
The highest.
Not 2, not x, but 2x.
2x.
2x. Okay. So let's start splitting these up now. So 2x squared can be written as 2 times by x. Okay? Or for those of you who want to be a bit smarty pants, you need to write down 2x times by x. But for the moment, we just split it up. Plus 6. What's 6 made out of?
6
3
times
by 2 and then times by the
x.
Okay, lovely. Okay, right. Mr. Hassan, so we said here at the beginning, before we start the question, that we can see that the 2x is common. Is that right?
Yeah.
Let's circle them now. What do we do with these 2x's? We have to pull them?
Pull them out.
Pull them out. Write them over here. What do we write down now? What do we do now? We copy down what is left over.
What is left over?
The x is left over, and the plus is left over, and the
3
is left over.
Yeah.
Look at this. Can we factorize this part? Get the answers? No, we got a prime number in there. There's nothing to pull out now. 2x times by x is 2x squared. 2x times by plus 3 is plus 6x. Nothing has been lost, and the question is finished. Done.
Oh.
Okay, one last question over here. We're looking at, we also got some ones on the bottom. We got more questions there. Okay. We're looking at 7c squared minus 21c. Mr. Hassan. Right. Let's look for the highest common factors. So, Mr. Hassan, look at the 7, look at the 21. What's common between those two?
They both go into each other.
Okay, highest common factor so far is 7.
7.
7.
Yeah.
So there's 7 in here, which is right there in front of you, and there's a 7 inside the 21. Because 21 is 7 times by 3. So they both share 7 as a factor. They both divide by 7. So I'll put 7 there as the highest common factor so far. Now look that out. Now look at the c squared and the c. What do they have in common? What do they both contain in there?
C.
A c.
C.
So now the highest common factor is?
7.
Not 7, not c, but 7c.
7C.
So let's start splitting them up. So 7c, that becomes what? 7 times
by C. Times by C.
by c. Minus
Minus
21 becomes 7.
7 times 3.
Okay, actually, I'll put the 3 first because I want to do something in particular. Okay, 3 times by 7 and then times by the c. Okay, excellent, good. Now, we already know what's common.
Yeah.
So we're going to pull that out now, pull it out. We have 7c. Whoa, squeaky one. Okay. What's left over now, Hassan?
It would be the C.
C minus
3.
3. Finished.
Yeah.
Question is done. Okay. Right. Are we happy with that, Hassan?
Yeah.
I'm going to do one more question from question number 4 now on the bottom, which is just popped up over here. And we'll just do over here, okay?
Okay.
Let's do one of those. Let's pick 2t squared plus 10tu, question 4b. So we have 2t squared plus 10tu. Right, are we ready
Yeah.
for this next question?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. We look at the question, we think, what can we see that is common? You look at it and try to identify it. So we're looking for the highest common factor. Now, we have a 2 and numerical part, another number, 2 and 10 both share. What is the highest common factor? Both share
They both share the same
2.
2.
The number 2.
Yeah.
Okay? Right, so let's rid of this now. Let's now look at the t squared and the tu. What does the t squared and the tu share in common? That's got a t in there, and that's also got a t in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, let's split it up now. So we have here 2 times by t t squared.
Yeah.
Plus 10 is made up of
10
5
times 2.
times by 2 times by the t times by the u. So we're just splitting it up, but in the right numbers, because 10 can be split up into 1. Right, that's beautiful. Okay, bismillah. Okay, folks, welcome back. Sorry we got terminated on the last video. We got under the file size for that particular video. Okay, we're still on clip 104. Start that again, it's dripping. Clip 104, grade C Maths Watch CD. Non-calculator for obvious reasons. You have to factorize these expressions using common factors technique. I've enlarged the question, hopefully you can see them more clearly in the video. So the first expression, we're going to do that over here. So 2x squared minus 4xy, and we'll do the bottom one next. So that's going to be 3x squared y squared plus 9xy. Okay, right. Okay, Mr. Hassan, we're joined by my student Hassan today. So we're looking at this question here. We need to think before we start splitting the question up. What are the common factors that we can see with our eyes? So we look at the numerical parts first. So we have a 2 here and a -4 here. So we start thinking about what is the highest common factor so far. And the highest common factor that both have inside them is a 2. So -4 is made up of -2 times by 2. It has a 2 in there. Okay? So let's get rid of those now. So we know that the 2 and the 4 can be factorized by taking a 2 out of them. Then we look at the x squared and the xy. And what do they both have inside them? They both have an x inside them. There's an x here which is visible and an x inside the x squared. So we need to now start to split up each individual part and see where that gets us. So now we're going to do 2 times by x times by x. Okay? Minus 2 times by 2, which is 4, times by the x times by the y. Okay. Hassan, are you happy with that so far?
Yeah.
So we're splitting them up and we can see those factors clearly in there. So where are the factors? Here they are. This one and
Those. 2.
there you go. So what we're going to do with those two x's, we're going to pull them
Pull them out.
out. Right in here. Okay, now, what do we have left now? So we have left over here is just x on its own. And a minus and a
2.
and a,
Y.
so -2y. Put them back together again. Job done. Should we check it, test it, is it right? Hassan?
Yeah.
2x times by x is 2x squared. Good. 2x times by -2y is -4xy, which is correct. And there's no more common factors in there they can pull out, so we finish that question. That question is done. Happy? Right, next question. Question 4D, Maths Watch CD, Grade C question, clip 104. That's the one. Now, we look at this expression, 3x squared y squared plus 9xy. It doesn't matter how many indices they put on there, how big they make the equation. You look at the question the same way. You think, what do these things have in common? So we look at the number part first, Hassan, 3 and 9. Straight away you should be able to tell me that the highest common factor with the numbers is 3. They both contain a 3 as the highest common factor. 3 is made up of 3 times by 1, 9 is made up of 3 times by 3. Next, let's go to this. Look at the letter part, the algebraic part. Okay? So you have x squared, y squared, Hassan, and xy.
Yeah.
So there's an x here and there's also an x in. There's a y here and there's also a y in. So
it would be 3xy.
3xy is what we're going to pull out. Now, let's start to split it up. So we have here now 3 times by x times by x times by
y times by
y times by y. Okay? Plus, okay, now we're going to run out of space a bit, okay? Okay, how did we do that? I think we'll do it on the bottom over here. Hassan? Okay, we just take it up here a bit. Okay, right. We have 9xy, which is going to be 9 times by x times by y. Okay, but the 9 we're going to split up first, isn't it?
Yeah.
So let's do that. Now should be really 3 times by 3 times by x comma y. Okay, because you can't leave the 9 as it is because you're going to put the 3 out of it. Now let's start pulling out the common factors. So what's common here is the 3xy. Where's the 3xy? So we got here 3 and the x and the y separately. Just link them up. Okay. And where's the 3xy here? Here it is. Okay. Now, Hassan, what do we have left over now? So when I pull out from this side 3xy, what have I got left over? I've got left over x. xy.
X and you got a y.
xy. X times by y is xy.
Yeah.
So put the plus back in, and the only item left on this side is just the 3.
Yeah.
Okay, that's done. Okay? So you have 3xy outside the bracket times by xy plus 3 and that's done. If you want to test it, 3xy times by xy will give you 3x squared y squared. That will give you 9xy, which is exactly right. Okay folks, I hope we'll be hopefully combining these two videos together on YouTube once we've uploaded them, so you can see as one video. So it'll be questions 1, 2, 3 and 4 from the top right to the bottom, each kind of style of question explained. Hope this video will help you with the examination preparation folks, for those of you following us at home on YouTube worldwide. Thank you very much for joining us. Jazakallah khairan. Inshallah, see you in the next lesson. Okay Hassan, thanks for that. Good lesson. Okay.